Here it is, game number 7 between Vinchester and st4rk. We have the deciding game here, and I didn't realize after casting game number 6 that this game is actually gonna take longer than the Byzantines War. Spoiler alert, but I don't care because this is the deciding game and doesn't really tell us who's going to win this. You may remember from back then, but Vikings War should be interesting on one hand. The meta it's not so clear for a lot of players. I've seen the discussion and a lot of players go for Arbalest and Siege Ram because why not? But it should be Elite Berserks and Onagers probably. So I don't know how the players are going to do this. I'm going to start and look for the maps this time. It's only one game, so why not go from Dark Age again? Vinchester, as usual, taking the war with the Scout, saving a little bit of villager working time. It's his style. I'm not sure if I would do it, but why not? He can if he wants to. We have an extra gold for him in the back. We have 3 deer inside. We have the second gold safe in the back and the second stone. We have then the main gold somewhat forwardish on the side. The third gold outside. The main stone on that same side, but inside, of course. Then we have 1, 2, 3 relics, 4 relics here on the side, and we have an extra stone and extra gold here, which leads us to st4rk's map. st4rk at the main gold safe in the back, can go a little bit fast I guess. The second gold safe in the back, a little bit of space to boom with a few wolves inside. 1 boar outside, he's blocked that boar and needs to block it again with the scout. Looking good, that villager would have died, but very nice job. We have the third gold outside for him, we have the main stone forward, 4 deer inside, 1 relic inside actually, that's number 5, then second stone outside. We've seen those 2 golds. Actually, the map from st4rk probably a little bit better, but it's nothing that is going to be game deciding, obviously, because game is going to take a while. And now let's wait for the players to go to Feudal and Castle Age. The barracks coming up from st4rk here, which is interesting to see. While Vinchester, let me check, going for actually stable blacksmith. Both players going for stables. We're not going to see crossbowmen or archers, but it really makes more sense to go cavalry here, I guess. And as soon as we hit Castle Age, I'm going to slow down a little bit, go like 89 maybe, something like that. Scouts in the way, and we do see the first monastery coming up from Vinchester in a forward position, and probably Siege Workshop, yes. st4rk, are you going for TCs? Monastery coming up for him, and 1 scout going inside, TC on the wood line, yes. While Vinchester not going for TCs yet, 5 villagers on the main gold. Mangonel on the way, it's housed right now, Monk coming out. And we are going to see an aggressive game here from Vinchester in game number 7, both on the way from st4rk. He's got 4 scouts, so those monks are really not safe. They need to fear for their life. And actually, I think st4rk could have even gone for that monk. He's taken down 1, and he's got 1 conversion here. Very good job. Now the monk went down, and the scouts, there is more from st4rk. He's taking down Mangonels now. Is he going to lose another scout here? No, he's running away, and I think there's suicide the other one. So 1 Mangonel remaining and 1 scout remaining here. Vinchester this time wants to go for the relics, and he's successful. He got the first one in. Loom on the way from st4rk. We have a little bit of slower game to see where are my extra TCs for Vinchester coming up. Second and third TC on the main stone and on the wood line here. And we have for st4rk, do we see 3 TCs? That's 1, 2, I guess 3 TCs. Yes, there we go. Now in the middle, still a few fights happening. Mangonel shot on that scout. So the monk going down. Mangonel shot again on that scout. Yeah, Mangonel going down first, and that monk is dying. Both players are trying to micro in the middle and at the same time keep their economy going. What the fuck? Yes, I guess that wasn't the best luck here. Another Mangonel dying, and that scout is not getting converted yet. st4rk finally suiciding it, but very nice resistance here. You need to be lucky sometimes. 3 more scouts approaching the monk, and this relic should get dropped into the monastery, but the monk is going to let his life for that. And now he has to run away here. st4rk going for forging even. Look at this. We have, I guess, another Mangonel inside the Siege Workshop for Vinchester. And we have 2 relics for him right now. That's number 3 coming in. He's going for number 4. st4rk should have 1 inside the monastery, so that's the one he had in his base. Villager numbers, pretty similar at 24, 23, 30 into the game. We have roughly 50 villagers at 24 minutes. And st4rk still fighting for the middle with his scouts, going for a lot of scouts here. Nobody going for light cav upgrade, which is surprising to me. Another monk coming out, but he, ooh, nice conversion, but he's going to die. And this monk is going to die as well, because now Vinchester sending a scout here, and st4rk is still with more scouts with more military on the field, sending a ram even against the Mangonel. Could be interesting. Winchester is luring the scouts away, and now the Mangana could take care of the ramp. How much coming from st4rk as well. And in the meantime, players are booming a little bit. Archer is now coming up. Winchester going with 3 TC still, I guess. Yes, that's 1, 2, 3. Don't have the statistic here. I guess you could show it. st4rk, resources looking okay-ish, has 3 TCs. Nobody going for 4 TCs, interestingly enough. Byzantines were at 5 TCs, something like that. Now it's only 3, but st4rk still investing a lot into those scout cavalry units and getting rid of the siege workshop and the monastery next. That means st4rk may end up with 5 relics, and that's something that Vinchester wanted to stop at a high cost. He wasn't able to. He didn't get enough scouts. Nobody got light cav, gold mining, heavy plow, and it's not like this is a Teutons war. It's Vikings. You get the light cav upgrade. I think Teutons is the only civilization that doesn't get it. And okay, I don't know the new civs really, but as far as I remember, TC number 4 now finally up for Vinchester. st4rk, do we see another TC? Fighting for the relics now, but he's going to be able to pick those 3 up. TC number 4 coming up on the main gold, which makes a lot of sense. He's also taking a second gold, which he has in the back here. And we do see a castle coming up on the main stone, and barracks, more barracks on the way actually. Imperial Age click for Winchester right now. st4rk still needs to wait a little bit longer. In the meantime, he has done the light cav upgrade finally. It makes a lot of sense to get that. And he's guarding that relic with the spearman. Ooh, the wolf may try to kill you as soon as you move, but as long as you stand here or move away, it's alright. Crossbow coming from st4rk, while Winchester is halfway up to him. And this gate, 20 HP, come on, take it down. Oh my god, you're gonna be kidding me. I think he's going to repair. No, not repairing. Doesn't really care about that. Villager-wise, we have 8 more for Winchester right now, 10 more. Squire's on the way for him as well. He's the first one to be able to go up to him. st4rk only clicked now. He invested a lot more into the light cav. But he got the 3 relics for now, 4, 5 to be even knights on the field. Look at this, fletching coming from st4rk as well. Let's switch to Winchester's point of view, see what the resources look like, and I think he should go for more castles. Berserk creation is starting, so back then, Masquerina 4, the meta was Berserks and Oranges, I guess. For now, Berserk's only a few pikemen because there's so many light cav on the field. I don't see any siege workshops yet, but Winchester cannot really afford a lot of upgrades here, doesn't have the food for that. He's investing in the pikes and going for conscription as well. Now this wall is open and the first big raid coming in. st4rk doing the best thing he can do, uses light cav to get some raiding done, and nice quick walls coming in. That villager is actually walling himself. This is open, but light cav taking a turn, going for the farms here, and that means Winchester cannot prepare for his Imperial Age. Instead he needs to defend, and this is a very good strategy here from st4rk, like a deflection to make sure that Winchester cannot launch an early attack while st4rk is still waiting for him. Arbalest on the way and cap ramp for st4rk here, so he's going for that other meta, which is Arbalest and rare and siege rams, probably. Does he have any castles? I don't see them. Nope, but 5 relics in the monasteries right now. No castle here for st4rk yet. Winchester getting the second castle, but he needs more numbers, and he should have allowed st4rk to go in because he's doing a lot of damage right now. A lot of idle villagers, and he's catching up on the villager numbers as well. TC idle villagers here, idle villagers build the castle. Lumberjacks on the left hand side, and the spearman has moved, and this is like a wolf rush and wolf train and gold rush, but sadly this wolf is not attacking, and I'm not sure what that's all about. A spearman standing next to the wolf and now attacking. Look at this, there's the wolf rush coming in, or the wolf train. It's only one, but the spearman is going to be suicided probably, or going down, and the wolf may try to take down a villager. They have flown though. st4rk still camping inside Winchester space. Then Archer and siege ram going in after an early launch. Siege rams and Arbalest are very, very good. In the end, st4rks and Oranges should be better, but I don't see any siege workshops here for Winchester, so for now st4rk is in a good position. Let's check his point of view. He's got a lot of resources. He could even go for a forward castle, but I think he's going to stay defensive if he's building a castle, maybe to protect the stone and the gold here. And he's got a lot of military units, 58 against 30, so it took Winchester too long to actually get the Berserks running, and he needs the honor to upgrade, while st4rk actually doing siege inside Winchester's base. Winchester going for the lumberjacks inside, this is good, and finally no market coming up. No siege workshop for Winchester. Is that really the case? He doesn't have siege. That's such a big mistake. It's like 101. Siege wins against no siege. That's like almost always. And the siege rams are so strong, and the arbalists behind it are going to be able to take down pikemen and berserks. Now the castle coming up here in the middle. This is an ambitious castle because there's so many siege rams around. I think Vinchester is going to lose a lot of berserks here. Now the siege rams going down, and the castle will go up. But is it worth it? We have 63 against like only a dozen military units here for Vinchester. He doesn't have the resources to get a lot of units out. This is huge. What's happening here in this game? We have 1k2 stone for st4rk. That's a big mistake in my opinion. He should go for castles, should go for trebuchets, get rid of those castles, and he could win the game in the blink of an eye. Not really, but compared to other games, it could be fast. Although arbalist raiding here, I like this. Very good to go for raiding yet again. Siege workshops inside of like 3 siege workshops going for siege rams, and masonry coming in from st4rk. His eco is untouched, and his population capped 200, while Vinchester on 140. And Vinchester now with a good amount of gold can afford more berserks. The main part of his economy is still working with 113, like 100 villages working, I guess. But gold should be interesting. st4rk again managed to get all the relics in, and st4rk is controlling the main gold from Vinchester, and this is so huge. There's so much gold that Vinchester is missing out on. It's like, I guess, 4k gold on that main gold left. Conscription, last furnace coming from Vinchester, fully upgrading the elite berserks, and they are a strong unit. I think st4rk should transition now. Heavy Scorpion actually coming in, that's interesting. And Onager finally done for Vinchester. That's the first Onager. Those arbalists, boom, double boom, 1 for mem, I guess. That one was pretty good, probably worth the gold. And elite berserks now clearing this up, and yeah, there's the castle finally, a trebuchet coming up, but too late for st4rk in my opinion. Vinchester was able to get elite berserks out, and a good number of them. Suddenly the military numbers are pretty equal. Vinchester, lone resources, st4rk, a lot of gold again. He's floating gold, so he's preparing for a long run. Going with the castle to protect the extra gold here, and this town center is not going up because there's a few arbalists, or it's not going up immediately. Arnager is coming in to take down the arbalist, but this castle is going to stop anything from Vinchester for now. And Vinchester now going for the standard combination, Onagers and berserks, but he had a rough start, and the st4rk 4k gold almost in the bank, while Vinchester double-digit numbers, but not even triple. Right now he's got triple digits. That's just really, really uncomfortable for him, and he is again starving for gold here. He's taking the gold outside. He has the second gold safe inside, like 2k4 maybe left, but the main gold is very important, and st4rk is doing everything to keep control or keep this main gold covered and make sure the Vinchester cannot take this. He lost the castle though, and there's 4 trebuchets sitting, so it makes sense. And elite berserks showing how strong they are. Even the arbalists have to go back, and only with the help of the heavy scorpions. And finally Onager coming in. I think st4rk should be fine. Those berserks are really, really strong actually, and even stronger in one of the kingdoms, of course. Vinchester finally able to get rid of the forward, and he's going to take the main gold now. This could be a game changer. Vinchester has the fully upgraded army, and he is now able to take more gold. That siege ram should go down fast. But st4rk again probably trying to please don't, I'm not gonna ready. Yeah. So there was a pause in the game, and finally st4rk going for elite berserkers of his own. We check the castle numbers here. 2 against 3. Vinchester has 3 castles right now, but st4rk still going in, still being annoying. That castle on the left hand side plus 1 inside his base maybe, or where's the other castle on the right hand side? And more walls coming up. Something that we have seen before, but st4rk definitely likes his wall, or liked it back then, and they're pretty good. We have a little bit of a ceasefire, both players preparing their armies, I guess. Fortified wall coming from st4rk again, so look at this, this is just beautiful here. And now Vinchester is starting to attack this semi-forward here with the castle, with the siege workshops, but there's also defensive traps, heavy scorpions, and a siege trap in front. So st4rk will be fine for now. Is he going to lose that castle just for nothing? And the question is, can he keep it up? Because losing castles here might be very important. And elite berserks are going to be stronger over time than arbalists, but we are going to see siege rams mainly, and onagers in the end, and probably then some light cap, which st4rk already has. Let me slow down a little bit here, but nobody's really making progress. On the right hand side nothing's happening, and here on the left there's the action with 3 trebuchets, elite berserks, but no siege left here. st4rk, the big score lead again, 3k right now, and Berserker Gang even coming in for him, but also for Vinchester. We're gonna see full upgrades on those Elite Berserkers finally, 72 HP. Doesn't sound like a lot, but they are pretty strong actually, and I don't know, is it the stats, is it the speed, is it the regeneration, maybe it's all of that. Trebuchets against Monitors and Trebuchets. st4rk is not going to give up on this castle. He's going to be able to repair it. He doesn't have stone, but he can buy it if he needs to. Yeah, just bought 200 stone to repair. And now Blast Furnace coming from st4rk to get fully upgraded Elite Berserkers as well. Lightcav getting the last upgrade in there. And does st4rk have any Berserks? Now he's starting to create them. There's a few of them standing around. And he's using the Lightcav as well. We're gonna see Pikeman Lightcav maybe when Elite Skirmishes later on if the game is going any longer. And st4rk with good resources again, while Vinchester is still lower. And that's the difference. st4rk is playing a lot more, how do you call this, resource effective maybe? He's booming better a little bit, I think, and somehow he is making sure that he's getting the better trades or getting resources. He's got the relics, that's the biggest difference probably. Getting those relics was so crucial for a long game, and again Vinchester is open so st4rk can just raid everywhere, while st4rk himself has fortified walls, making sure that nobody can go into his economy. This is maybe the only weak point, and he could wall behind that really fast here. Now Vinchester trying to, and actually succeeding in taking down that forward on the left hand side, but there's no more gold to mine. So I guess st4rk probably won't mind to lose this, because in the end he's not gonna go for Elite Berserks, he is gonna go for Trash and Siege, probably. Lightcav starting to raid the main gold, makes sense, he's gonna lose them, but he can afford it. Vinchester, resources looking okay-ish, st4rk, a lot of wood in the bank, and he probably is gonna go for more and more farms. He's got the space. He put 3 of the 5 relics in that back, 4 actually in that back monastery. That means there's 1 on the open field, or there's 1. Where's the other relic? No, he's got 5 again. He's just transferring them, which is a good idea. Now Vinchester taking map control and starting to attack that castle, which is protecting the economy here. Interesting to see. 2 months are coming from Vinchester only now, and fletching finally, so probably preparing either the castles or maybe Elite Skirmishes later on. And st4rk going in the few Elite Berserks and still the leftover Arbalests here, but looks like Vinchester should have the upper hand. And ooh, they weren't stand ground. This is not good. Having an army that's not fighting is like having no army here. And st4rk is able to defend. He's able to hold onto his castle, getting siege workshops in front now. That's a very good idea. It's like a very nice defensive structure. 2 more trebuchets and Orange is out, also siege rams out. This castle may go down, but now st4rk is sending everything, and he's got a lot more military units than Vinchester right now. Vinchester has 1 trap remaining, that's not enough, and st4rk is repairing, he's still buying stone I guess. Elite Skirmisher, Bodkin arrow on the way for Vinchester, tackling into the trash, and again he's low on resources, which is amazing. st4rk is doing a little bit better. He is not so far in the score lead, and we are 1 hour 7 into the game, and still no winner to detect. I cannot tell who's going to win this. I think st4rk has an advantage right now, but Vinchester has the push, is going aggressive here, and if he's going through, he might be able to hurt st4rk really bad inside his economy. But that's a big problem. st4rk is doing that 2 games in a row, going for the economy of Vinchester. Not right now, but he's probably going to do it very soon again. Look at this, Vinchester is open on this side as well, though there's a lot of lumberjacks that have no protection, and as soon as st4rk is investing a little bit of food into Lightcav, he may be able to raid again. For now, he is trying to defend his base, and that's the more important thing to do here. He's still got a lot of wood in the bank. He can sell the wood, or he can go for more farms if he wants to. And he's able to hold Vinchester at this line here where the siege workshops are coming up. Elite Skirmisher also for st4rk on the way, so we're gonna see a transition from Elite Berserks into, my guess is still siege rams and trash. It would make a lot of sense to go for that. As long as they can afford it, they're gonna go for Elite Berserks, because it's a really strong unit. Elite Skirmishers are having a really hard time to take those down. But st4rk is now sending single units. That's a big mistake, because even the Elite Skirmishers can take down Lightcav with only, is that 2+2? Yes, well, they will be strong enough to do that. Petted Archer Armor and Chemistry coming in to make the Elite Skirmishers stronger. They missed an attack upgrade, and there's an Onager to take down Skirmishers, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Now st4rk is safe at home and trying to break out here, trying to defend. with like 10k resources at this point. Winchester 3k at least, but nobody has gold. And the gold went down really fast in this game. I feel the Byzantines thought there was more gold available. Now there's pikemen, there's elite skirmishes, there's light cav here from Stark. I wonder, Winchester maybe should go for light cav as well, but he doesn't have the gold. He always needs to sell resources, and this is really expensive. He doesn't have relics, and that's the biggest difference in this game, I think. Stark has a safe economy, and he has 5 relics safe here in the back, where Winchester is never gonna find them, or if he can find them, he's not gonna be able to take them, because he would have to go all through Stark's base. 1 hour 15 minutes, basically hoardings coming now for Winchester, and both players need probably more armies and maybe even more economy. Idle villages 10 against 4 is really not a lot, and they're trying to get as much army going as possible. We are 500 kills, so more than 1k units died in this game already. And now there's a lot of elite skirmishers. Trebuchets actually to take down this castle. This is very good for Stark. He's investing gold now. Apparently he has a little bit of gold left, or had. He's got 10k wood, so he can sell a little bit. And there's a big forward coming up on the right hand side. Look at this. So Stark is preparing to go into Winchester's eco. Right now I'd say Stark has this game. It looks like he's going to be able to advance, because Winchester is facing the same problems as last game. He doesn't have as many resources, and he's being raided. And this is going to start very soon. Siege Ram taking down a few barracks here. And in the middle, Stark is gaining more and more control. His military numbers looking better, and occasional Onager or Siege Rams here are going to do a hell of a lot of damage to those military buildings. Winchester is losing ground, and I think he should have revolted maybe. He should have got the fortified walls. He should not have opened this land here, and now the elite skirmishers moving forward. I'm only missing the light cap from Stark. I think he needs more of those. He's got the food to do that, doesn't have the population space to do it, because there's so many elite skirmishers in the field. And a few elite berserks still for Winchester. Then I'm gonna cut the trick here. And the trebuchet is now approaching the next castles. This is gonna be really deadly. Winchester trying to get as many elite berserks as he can. He's also population capped, so we have a very high level and very high numbers game here, with Stark being a little bit better. Pikemen coming in from Stark now, so it's decided, okay, I may need more units as well. I think the light cap should do the trick, but pikemen is never wrong, or halberdiers in general, but Vikings of course don't get those. And there's a bit of raiding going on, but not a lot. Winchester now able to defend on both sides, and this forward is really not that powerful as I thought it would. Now my voice is going down a little bit here. Let me clear my throat, that's what we call it. I hope it's holding through, otherwise I need to pause here. I don't want to do that. A few single light cav going in, and they're gonna start and take down a few villages here. In the middle we have fights. Elite berserks now fighting, and looks like they are doing a very good job, but they're costing a lot of gold, so it's not easy to do that. Winchester still selling resources, and Stark still has a lot more. It's like at least triple the resources to spend or to sell, and he is moving in from the right hand side, from top right. And at the same time we have a few light cav again inside the economy of Winchester, who still doesn't bother to wall here. I think he should have like at least house wall or something. More light cav moving in, and that's what Stark is doing. He's sending groups of light cav and then trying to take a big fight while he's deflecting Winchester here and trying to raid his eco. Still a lot of elite berserks for Winchester. Surprising to see that he has the resources to get those out. And 1 hour 32 into the game. Looks like Winchester has recovered actually. Still doesn't have a lot of resources, but he's got a big group of elite berserks, and he just needs to move now to the places where the fighting's happening. Actually he's trying to move forward. No, and those elite skirmishes are pretty much doomed. The berserks are too strong, and actually it's a very, very good post-imperial unit, because it's going to heal. Berserker is not dead, is going to heal over time, and that means Stark needs his own berserks now. They are here. It's berserks in English, it's Berserker in German, so if I say berserker, then you know why. German. And now we have again gold units. It's amazing how the players are recovering here. Winchester, a little bit of gold left, resources looking alright, and a big fight happening with Winchester going for more kills. I think he's looking a little bit better, but Stark still has a few elite berserks left, and the elite skirmishers are doing a good job as well. I'm not really sure who won this fight. Looks like a little bit better for Winchester, but it's not really deciding. It's not like somebody has 20 to 30 army left. And now siege trams moving forward again. Do we have any more raiding? Not right now. Winchester, 2k resources maybe. Stark is still with a lot of wood in the bank, still can sell wood if he needs to. He's actually overcut here, but it doesn't really matter because Winchester is not going to go in too soon. And again, Stark can afford to lose a few villages and still have a lot of wood in the banks, can recover from that. Now Winchester has to move to the top side here, top right, to get rid of those elite skirmishes and siege trams. Stark is using this situation to send Lightcav into the wood line, and he's going to kill villagers, 131 right now. Look at this, elite skirmishes and Lightcav, and even elite berserkers just moving in. The castle went down, and Winchester's base is open, and the elite berserkers are on the other side. They cannot help right now. Stark is doing such a good job of raiding, and Winchester 2 games in a row didn't bother to wall, which was a big mistake in my opinion. I think this could have gone differently, and Winchester could have been in a different situation, or even not in this game if he had bothered to wall. But like this, Stark is getting a little bit of an advantage again. Seeing that, Winchester is in the score lead. He's killed a lot more units. Look at this. This is just amazing. 100 villagers. The problem is Stark still has more resources, and over time this is going to help him a lot. But this game is even closer than the Byzantines war. That one was decided when Stark floated 50k resources. Right now, Winchester has a good chance of winning this. Even though Stark has a lot of resources, Winchester, I think, has the better army on the field. He's taking better fights. That what the KD is showing right now. Love the spectator overlay, by the way. Good job whoever made that, because it's so valuable for casting games, for looking at those. You wouldn't know this information. You cannot know it if you don't have that spectator overlay. But here is more raiding, even with the berserks now, which is, I think, not a good idea. I think you should raid Lightcav, not berserks. And Winchester is clearing up everything and gaining a little bit of ground again, but there is more elite berserks moving in on the left hand side, so Winchester again has to send units to defend, I guess. He's doing that right now, and elite skirmishes just going after that. But so many elite berserks on the map here for Winchester. Can he take this game? Can he afford more? Problem is, look at this, we have a little bit of wood lost by Stark. I guess he sold some of it to get a good amount of gold in. The question is, what is he going to do with that? Is he going for some siege rams now? Going to try and go for siege rams. Actually, Winchester has siege rams on the field at this point. And while Stark is still waiting, Winchester is getting rid of all that army. And is still in 110 villages. He's still producing villages, I guess. And for now, he's looking to win this game here. Amazing to see that Stark suddenly has no gold whatsoever, but his military numbers looking good now, and I think he's invested into elite berserks again. And we have a big fight here in the middle right now with elite berserks and skirmishes on both sides. Looks like Winchester taking the better fight when it comes to berserks, but now Stark is sending in Lightcav as well, and no, Winchester winning this little fight here, and also getting rid of the raiders. A few more Lightcav coming in. Looks like these raidings are really not that effective any longer, which is interesting to see. Stark now again with 10k resources, except for gold of course, and Winchester still low, but both are pop locked. No, Stark not. Winchester is on the population, or is pop capped in population maximum, and he has elite berserks. I think they all went down, so it's for now elite skirmishes again, and a few pikemen to fight the Lightcav and the enemy elite skirmishes. Actually, Stark able to mass more elite berserks, and that's interesting to see. There's a few of them left here from Winchester. Those were defending the economy, and now they're moving forward. Those elite skirmishers are really not going to do a lot against the berserks, and we have fights in the middle again. Nobody's gaining any ground. Looked like Winchester had a little bit of an advantage, but right now Stark is holding, and he's got a big group of elite berserkers coming into the left-hand side, and there's only small military numbers of berserkers on the left-hand side for Winchester at this point. Where's the elite skirmishers from? He's going back, he's gathering his army now, and probably sorting his eco a little bit, and very, very close game, 1 hour 50 minutes. How is this going to end? Winchester with 1k resources, Stark 10k. And like this, suddenly Stark seems to be the favorite yet again. He's got more goldens on the field, has the siege rams, Winchester selling a little bit, but those elite berserks are doing a lot of damage, and there's only one castle, I think, no, 2 castles for Winchester. The question is how to get rid of those. That's a very important question. I guess you need trebuchets or at least siege rams for that. And is Vinchester going to engage here? I think he should not do that yet, because st4rk has better numbers, and look at the elite berserks from Vinchester. They're going down pretty fast. He has to run away, has to use the elite skirmishes here. A few pikemen elite skirmishes moving in, not a big problem. Actually, he's got 3 castles, sorry for that. It's not 2, it's 3. And we have 5 relics for st4rk, and that's how he's affording to get so many gold units out. And with 2 hours almost played, you know that this is more than important. Now, those pikemen are not going to be able to do a lot against the elite berserks. They're going down pretty fast, actually. They just don't have the attack they need. And, of course, not a lot of melee armor either. And look at this. st4rk is going in to take on TC, but there is a big fight happening. The question is, can Vinchester win this fight, or has st4rk the numbers? He's taking on villagers, but Vinchester's still on more than 100 builds, so he will be alright with that. st4rk now selling food. Not sure about the prices. Let me see, actually. No, they're low. Makes sense. And looks like st4rk is losing all his army here. Lost a lot of elite berserks. This was not the best fight ever. And he's sending elite berserks on the left hand side. It's like he's raiding with these berserks with the gold units instead of the light cav. Looks like he can afford it, which is amazing to see. And now he's gained full map control. And the military numbers looking slightly better for Vinchester, but st4rk is still doing all the damage and Vinchester is still defending. Now, where are those 120 military units that are currently on the field? I don't see them. Pikemen again moving to attack this lumber camp, and Vinchester probably sending units from the left to the right and vice versa to defend his entrance. Imagine if this was walled. This would just be so good. And now look at this, st4rk sending the rest of the berserks to take down the castle, and I think he may even succeed here. Now Vinchester has to move in. Oh, st4rk has to go back. He needed maybe a siege ram or 2. But he was close, and nobody's going to be able to afford stone here to repair the castles. Vinchester a lot lower than st4rk, of course, with the resources. And st4rk, again, with a big crew of elite berserks. I didn't think we're going to see so many of them for such a long game. And we're almost 2 hours in, and it looks like st4rk finally is getting the upper hand when it comes to the gold units. And he's going for another castle. If the castles are going down, this game's over, for sure. And if st4rk didn't have the relics, this would look differently, but st4rk managed to get the relics in mid-castle age, something like that, and now he's taking on the castle, is investing in a lot of units, he's losing a lot of elite berserks. There's nothing left here in that pocket. All the lumber camps on the left-hand side, 99 villages for Vinchester. It's not enough, to be honest. And the elite berserk's going down, but Vinchester also losing his units. The elite skirmish is doing good. And what is st4rk doing now? He's getting... Wow, look at this. He's still producing. He's still investing. He's still got a lot of gold left. He's still got a lot of resources left. His eco is untouched. This is just beautiful. Look at this. All the mills, all the farms, everything. He's probably got so many farmers right now. 97, 99 farmers, 100 farmers for st4rk. This is crazy. This is game over for sure. Vinchester cannot compete with that. He's got 64, which is a good number, but it's not going to be enough. And st4rk can afford elite berserks for a long time. He's taking down now the pikemen, a few elite berserks coming in for Vinchester, but I don't see this game going for longer than maybe 15 minutes, because there's the first trap now, and st4rk is starting to attack the castles. Finally, he's going to be able to protect those trebuchets, maybe even repair them. The pikemen won't do a lot. The elite berserks won't be able to approach those. Vinchester still trying to go for elite berserks. He's got a little bit of gold left, but it's only 2 castles, and within seconds it's 1 castle only. This is GG. Definitely. st4rk advancing to the next round. No way for Vinchester to come back. One big fight happening at last. I guess Vinchester still got more military units, but elite skirmishes are really not good enough. And st4rk can actually escape that trebuchet. He's got to move it around to attack the second castle. And now the big fight happening, but Vinchester losing all his berserks, and elite skirmishes are not going to do. Vinchester calling GG here. What an amazing game. 2 hours and almost 5 minutes. That's why this game is a standalone. It would have taken too long to put this in one set or in 2 parts. That's part number 3. st4rk deserves to go to the next round, because he has been playing so smart. He's walled everything. His economy was so safe, and Vinchester was just being raided all over. So I hope you enjoyed this game and the complete set. Probably one of the strongest sets in the whole tournament. Maybe there's going to be a few more coming up. I don't really remember how good they were. Hope you enjoyed this. See ya next games. GG.